Marco Dominic Gonzalez, November 16, 2014, 10:46 a.m. This is my third video on ACA, Affordable Care Act. No, on the Keystone Pipeline, that type of thing. And I ended up the last video on health insurance. And you know, it's always someone with a family put to, well, this is really expensive. You know what I mean? And if you're poor, how do you afford that? So I'm going to ask you a question. This is to the lawmakers that get campaign funds from the fossil fuel industry and the businesses that are involved in making that Keystone Pipeline if it goes through. How many bodies to employ is it worth? Millions of people, the land, the water, being harmed. How many bodies is it worth to employ? Now, 3 million bodies would be less than 1% of the population. I know you're not employing 3 million bodies. Is it 300,000? No, you're not employing 300,000. To build it, how many? What's the exact numbers? And you give those numbers to the people that go on Meet the Press and go on This Week, go on Face the Nation. Give them numbers that say, this is how many bodies will build the pipeline. This is how many bodies will operate the pipeline when it's built. Exact numbers. Now, how many bodies is it worth to harm the land, the water, and people's lives? Give you an example of facts on my last video. You can't justify. In fact, if you employed 30 million people, that wouldn't justify harming 1 million people. It wouldn't justify harming 30,000 people. You understand? You can't guarantee that there's not a mishap. So you, Bobby J, Governor Bobby J in Louisiana, could you predict that the BP would go down like that? Nobody did. Nobody could. You're still having problems in that area due to that, and you don't know the ramifications for it. You don't know how many people are. It'll be like a hearsay too. It'll be like with Dominic, you know, people are sick. The fish have died all in a dead zone area, and there's all this. Where are we going with that? You don't know. Nobody does. You don't know what happens when those bad things happen. One time. You couldn't predict that. It happened. Now you build a long pipe through middle America. What are the possibilities that could happen? The sky's the limit. You don't gotta have a sixth sense to see that. You can just write the script. What's the worst scenario? What's the best scenario? The best scenario is pray, Lord, no one mishap. Please. What's the worst scenario? You can create that script, man. And Americans are hurt. The animals and the land. How deeply? Hearsay, who knows, Dominic? Really? Coincidences? Cancers, autoimmune diseases like what's going on in Canada right now, people will be saying the same things. Saying, I need the ACA, where is it? Oh, the far right took it away. You know what I mean? People are going to be asking, like, oh my God, I need to see a doctor. Can't afford health insurance. Come on, man. How many bodies is it worth to employ that it is justified to harm the land, the water, and people's lives? And we can't put a number in the people's lives. It could be in the millions, it could be in the thousands, it could be in the hundreds, it could be in the tens of millions. You don't know because you can't guarantee it. So why build a pipeline that could cause that kind of damage? Why? Why? Is it black gold fever? Is it just that simple, man? Come on. Rethink your actions.